Hey everyone, I'm Calvin with Southern Country Living. This is Friday evening. It's getting pretty late, a little bit past 8 o'clock, and almost getting dark outside. Marie and I both have been working all day long and we're both tired. We got all our grass cut today and got our garden all cleaned up today, and just been a busy day. So what we want to do, we want to rest a little bit tomorrow. So we're going to go ahead, I'm going to put a Boston, what kind is that? We got Boston pork roast, and we're going to put that in a crock pot, and we're going to let it cook all night long so that we can have barbecue sandwiches tomorrow for supper. This is the Boston butt roast that we got. We picked this up over at Piggly Wiggly, and it looks like a nice one, so we're going to get this started for some barbecue. Okay. You slide this over a little bit so you can see it better. We'll go ahead and get this cut open. And to get started, since my hands has done got nice and wet, let me go wash them off. That roast was real wet. Let me wash them real fast. Okay, got my hands washed. So let me go ahead, I'm going to spray the crock pot first. I'm real bad about forgetting to spray it, and it's real hard to clean out if you don't spray it. Okay, we got that done. I'm going to start by just putting some salt and pepper on this roast. And there's no specific amount, I'm just putting some on. Then I'm going to put some paprika. And this is something that Marie and I, we do quite often. We'll make a roast about this size, and after we have barbecue sandwiches, we can take and freeze the rest of the barbecue, and we can pull out and have barbecue, for a long time. I put a little onion powder on here. Not much onion powder, just a little bit. Put a little bit of chili powder on there. And as far as seasoning, you can put anything you want to put on your roast. That is up to you. And just a little bit of garlic powder. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and set this inside the crock pot. This roast does have the bone in it. Nice size there. Let me wash my hands again. Okay, let me pull that over where you might can see it just a little better. And I'm going to mix up a little bit of sauce to put on top of it. I'm going to start with about a half a cup of brown sugar. That's about a half a cup of brown sugar. Then I'm going to put about a half a cup of vinegar. Then I'm going to put about a half a cup of ketchup. I'm not too good left-handed there. Okay. And then on mustard, I'm going to put a little mustard in it. I'm not going to measure it. Usually when I'm making the big quart jar of this, I put like a couple of tablespoons. So I'm just going to put a couple of squirts, not very much. And then I'm just going to stir this up a little bit. Now I'm not going to pour this directly on top of the roast, but I'm going to pour it into the side and just let it go all in and around the sides and under it. Okay, got it mixed up good. Got a little bit on the edge here. I'll have to get that off. You know how it is, if you leave salts on the side of your pan while it's cooking, it'll burn and look real bad. Okay. I'm going to turn this on low and I'm going to let this cook for, we're going to cook it all night long. So it'll probably be about 9 o'clock in the morning when we take this off. That'll be about 12 hours. But I'll bring you back in here and show you what it looks like when we take it off tomorrow morning. Okay, the pork roast has been cooking all night long. It's actually been cooking for about 11 hours. And it is definitely hot right now. I'm going to try to get it out and see if I can get it pulled apart. Okay, it's so tender it's just falling apart. That's good. And that's just the bone that was in the middle. The bone come out good. Okay, let me let this cool just a little bit. It is definitely smelling real good. Move this crock pot out of the way. And it's just going to just come right apart and just look so nice. It smells great. Okay, let me get all this pulled apart and I'll get it in a bowl and show you how it looks. Had a pretty good bit of fat down on the bottom, but I've learned that when you buy them, if you get the ones that's got a little more fat on them, the meat turns out to be more tender. This is really gonna make some good barbecue sandwiches. We're gonna be having them for supper tonight, and they're really gonna be good. Okay, that didn't take me just a couple minutes there and got it all pulled apart. Let me get a bowl now to put it in. We'll set this, I'll let it cool down first for just a little while, and then I'll set it in the refrigerator, and then tonight we'll make us a good sandwich with it, and then with all the pork that's left over, we'll freeze it in individual bags, enough for each meal, and we'll end up getting several meals out of this that we can have at a later date. Marie and I love to do this. Go ahead and cook one big roast, and then we can have barbecue for several times without having to do the actual cooking. And I'll make a nice big jar of barbecue sauce to go with it. Okay, there may be a little more meat in here. Most of this is fat over here. I try to separate the fat out. We don't want any of the fat in our actual sandwiches. There's a nice big chunk there I about missed. I like the good chunks that are real dark. The dark part of the barbecue meat, I think that's the best part. Okay, there it is. Still pretty hot. Let me get my scales and see how much that ended up weighing. Okay, after it cooked, that's about 3.5 pounds of barbecue pork. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mix me up some barbecue sauce real quick. And I'm going to start with 1 cup of brown sugar. Okay. Then I'll put in 1 cup of vinegar. And then I'll put a cup of ketchup. Okay, now on this recipe, this is just my recipe, it's the way I make it. And you can add a little bit more or you can add a little bit less depending on how you like it. Okay, and on the mustard, I usually put about 2 tablespoons full. So there's 1, there's 2. And something I add sometimes, and today I'm going to put just a little bit in, just a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. And if Marie don't mind, I'll put a little bit of hot pepper sauce in it. If she don't mind, what do you think about that, Marie?
It's your recipe, go at it.
Okay, let me get a little bit of hot sauce. Okay, I'm going to put just a little bit of Texas Pete hot sauce in it. This is, you can leave this out if you don't want the hot sauce. Okay, and I'm just going to mix it up real good. And what I'm going to do, because this, we'll be using this for, a good while, so I'm going to put it on the oven over here and heat it up till it comes to a boil. Then I'll let it cool down and put it in a jar so that we'll have barbecue sauce for a while.
And this is my favorite barbecue sauce.
Yeah, this is, I have several people that call me up and say, hey, can you make me a jar of that barbecue sauce? And they love it. Okay, let me get this on the oven over here and get it heating up. Okay, I've got my barbecue sauce done now, and I'm just going to put a little bit on top of this barbecue and mix it up. Okay. That'll help give it that barbecue flavor all through this bowl. Okay, look how good that looks now. Okay, we'll see you when we do our sandwiches. Okay, this is our meal for tonight. We are having barbecue pork. Marie made us some potato salad. She also made some baked beans. And this is Marie's tornado cake. So let us get started and get some plated up. Okay, this is our dinner for tonight. I'm having open-faced barbecue sandwich with potato salad and baked beans. I'm also having tea and tornado cake that Marie made today. Marie made a sandwich out of hers. She's having the same thing today. This is our date night tonight. We can't go out to a restaurant to eat, so we're just having a nice meal here at the house. Hope everybody enjoyed watching this video. We certainly do appreciate everyone watching. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you on our next video.
Sitting here, I got time. It's clear to see from up here. The world seems small. We can sit together